Admiral Hansol stood at the main window of the Earth Defense Force flagship Aegis. His eyes were fixed on the large screen showing the remains of New Busan colony. The colony, which was once home to 5,000 people, was now nothing but floating pieces of metal and rock in space. This was the third human colony destroyed by the Meridian Empire in just 2 months. Hansol's hands formed tight fists at his sides. He was angry, but he knew he had to stay calm. A leader could not let emotions control their actions. "Admiral, sir." Lieutenant Jai Yun's voice broke the silence on the bridge. She walked quickly to his side, holding a datapad. "We have finished analyzing the attack data from New Busan." Hansol turned to face his tactical officer. Jai Yun was young, but she was one of the best in the fleet. Her black uniform was perfectly neat, and her face showed the same anger he felt inside. "Tell me what you found, Lieutenant," Hansol said, his voice steady and calm. Jai Yun touched her datapad, and new images appeared on the main screen. They showed pieces of weapons and energy readings from the attack. "The Meridians used their new plasma cannons on the colony, sir. These weapons are banned by the Peace Treaty of 2184. They are not supposed to use them against civilian targets." The bridge crew watched in silence as more images appeared. The plasma weapons had cut through the colony's shields like they were paper. The colonists had no chance to fight back or escape. "How many survivors?" Hansol asked, though he already knew the answer. "None, sir," Jai Yun replied, her voice tight with emotion. "The Meridians waited until everyone was asleep during the colony's night cycle. They hit the main reactor first, then the escape pod bays. No one made it out." Hansol walked to his command chair and sat down. The chair's screen lit up with more reports from other colonies. Everyone was scared. The Meridian Empire was getting bolder, attacking closer and closer to Earth's main territories. "Sir," Jai Yun said, moving to stand beside his chair. "This is the third colony they've destroyed. First New Seoul, then New Incheon, and now New Busan. They're targeting our Korean colony specifically." Hansol nodded. The pattern was clear. The Meridians were trying to break Earth's spirit by attacking their most successful colonies. The Korean space colonies were famous for their advanced research and technology. "Get me a secure line to Earth Command," Hansol ordered, "and prepare a full report on the plasma weapons they used. We need proof to show the Security Council." As his crew worked, Hansol looked again at the destroyed colony on the screen. New Busan had been known for its peaceful research. They were studying new ways to terraform planets and grow food in space. They had never been a threat to anyone. The Meridian Empire had gone too far this time. They thought humans were weak because they preferred peace and trade over war. They thought they could bully Earth's colonies without consequences. "Sir, Earth Command is responding," the communications officer announced. "They're asking for your immediate report." Hansol stood up, straightening his dark blue admiral's uniform. "Lieutenant Jai Yun, you're with me. The rest of you, continue monitoring our border. I want to know if the Meridians make any more moves." As Hansol walked to the communications room, he made a silent promise to the people of New Busan. Their deaths would not be forgotten. The Meridian Empire thought they knew what humans were capable of, but they were wrong, very wrong. "Send a message to all our remaining border colonies," he told Jai Yun. "Tell them to be ready. Things are about to change." Jai Yun nodded, understanding in her eyes. The time for just watching and waiting was over. Earth had tried to be peaceful. They had tried to be fair. But now, the Meridian Empire needed to learn an important lesson. Never mistake kindness for weakness. The doors of the communications room closed behind them. On the main bridge screen, the ruins of New Busan continued to drift in space, a silent witness to the beginning of what would become a turning point in human history. The Earth Security Council chamber was filled with tension. The huge room, with its dark wood tables and tall windows showing Earth's blue sky, held 50 of humanity's most important leaders. They had gathered to discuss one thing: what to do about the Meridian Empire. Ambassador Du-hyun stood at the main podium. His gray hair and calm face showed his years of experience in dealing with alien species. Behind him, a large screen showed pictures of the destroyed colonies. 3 colonies lost, 5,000 dead at New Busan alone. Du-hyun said, his voice clear and strong. The Meridian Empire claims these were military targets. We know this is not true. They were research stations, peaceful places where people studied farming and medicine. The council members looked at the images with sad and angry faces. Admiral Hansol sat in the military section, Lieutenant Jae-yun beside him. They had returned to Earth as soon as possible to show their evidence. The Meridians have agreed to meet with us one last time. Du-hyun continued. They will arrive in 1 hour. I asked the council to let me try one more time to solve this peacefully. Some council members started to protest, but Du-hyun raised his hand. We must show the galaxy that humans always try peace first, even when others choose violence. The council voted. Most agreed to give Du-hyun his chance. As they waited for the Meridians to arrive, Hansol walked to Du-hyun. They won't listen, Hansol said quietly. They think we are weak. Du-hyun smiled slightly. Then they will learn an important lesson today. The chamber doors opened. 3 Meridian representatives entered. They were tall beings with gray skin and 4 arms each. They wore bright red uniforms covered in medals and symbols of rank. Their leader, Supreme Commander Val, walked as if he owned the room. Let us make this quick, Val said in perfect English. His voice was deep and showed no respect. We are very busy. Du-hyun bowed politely. Supreme Commander, we have asked you here to discuss the destruction of our colonies. We have proof that you used banned weapons against civilians. This breaks our peace treaty. Val laughed. It was not a nice sound. Treaties are for equals, Ambassador. Your colonies were in space that will belong to the Meridian Empire. We simply cleared them away. Be grateful we haven't taken more. The room grew very quiet. Du-hyun's polite smile did not change, but his eyes grew cold. I see. Then you admit to these attacks. You take responsibility for these deaths. Of course, Val said, looking bored. Those spaces are meant for real powers, not weak humans who waste time growing plants in space. Du-hyun nodded slowly. He pressed a button on his podium. The screen behind him changed. Now it showed Earth's full military fleet, thousands of ships, many more than the Meridians thought Earth had. Thank you, Supreme Commander, Du-hyun said. We needed you to admit your actions officially. Now we can respond properly. Val's bored look disappeared. He stared at the screen, counting the ships. This is a trick. You don't have this many ships. Oh, but we do, Du-hyun said. We have been building them quietly while you thought we were just farming. Humans are very good at doing many things at once. Hansol stood up. The Earth Defense Force is ready, Ambassador. We await the Council's orders. Val's gray face turned darker with anger. You dare to threaten the Meridian Empire. We will destroy you all. No, Du-hyun said simply. You won't. You have 1 day to leave human space. All of it. If you refuse, you will learn why it's unwise to make humans angry. The Supreme Commander stormed out, his assistants hurrying behind him. The council chamber was silent again, but now it was a different kind of silence. It was the quiet of people who knew that everything was about to change. Du-hyun turned to Hansol. Well, Admiral, I tried diplomacy. Now it's your turn. Hansol nodded. Lieutenant Jae-yun, send the signal. All ships are to move to their positions. The Meridians have 1 day to make the right choice. As they left the chamber, Du-hyun looked one last time at the pictures of the destroyed colonies. Let's hope they're smart enough to leave, he said quietly. But if they're not, then they'll learn why humans are the most dangerous when they're defending their people. Deep under the streets of Seoul, In the Gangnam Underground complex, Dr. Yunwoo worked without rest. Her laboratory was filled with the soft hum of quantum computers and testing equipment. The room's bright lights showed the tired lines on her face, but her eyes were sharp and focused. "Another test, please," she said to her assistant. Her hands moved quickly over the control panel, adjusting numbers and power levels. On the other side of the safety glass, a small quantum shield generator started to glow. Chief Engineer Ta Hyun walked into the lab, carrying several data pads. His usual neat appearance was messy, showing that he too had been working for many hours without rest. "Dr. Yunwoo," he called out, "I have the results from the ship tests. The new propulsion system is working better than we hoped." Yunwoo looked up from her work. "Good. We'll need both systems working perfectly. The Meridians won't expect either of them." The quantum shield generator's glow grew stronger. Blue light filled the testing chamber. Yunwoo checked her readings and smiled. "Yes," she whispered. "Finally. It's working." Ta Hyun asked, moving closer to look at her screens. "See for yourself," Yunwoo said. She pressed a button, and a powerful laser fired at the quantum shield. The shield didn't just block the laser, it made it disappear completely. "Amazing," Ta Hyun said. "How does it work?" "The shield creates a quantum field that moves energy to another space," Yunwoo explained. "When the Meridians fire their weapons at our ships, the energy will simply vanish. Their strongest weapons will do nothing to us." Ta Hyun nodded with excitement. "And with my new propulsion system, our ships can move faster than they can track. They won't be able to hit us, and even if they do, they can't hurt us." The lab's communication screen lit up. Admiral Hansol's face appeared. He looked serious but hopeful. "Doctor, Engineer, how are the projects going?" "Both systems are ready, Admiral," Yunwoo reported. "The quantum shields work perfectly. No weapon we've tested can break through them. And the propulsion systems are installed on all major ships," Ta Hyun added. "They can activate as soon as needed." Hansol's face showed relief. "Good work, both of you. The Meridians have 6 hours left to leave our space. If they don't—" He paused. "We need to be ready." "We'll be ready," Yunwoo promised. She touched her screen, sending the latest test results to the Admiral. "I sent you the final data. The shields can protect our smallest fighter to our largest carrier. Nothing the Meridians have can break them." "What about the power needs?" Hansol asked. "Solved," Ta Hyun said proudly. "The new propulsion systems make more power than they use. They can run the shields and still move the ships faster than anything in space." Hansol smiled for the first time in days. "Humanity thanks you both. I'll make sure every ship has these systems active within the next 4 hours. Be ready for anything." After the Admiral's image disappeared, Yunwoo and Ta Hyun looked at each other. They knew their work might save thousands of lives. "They really think we just grow food and study stars," Yunwoo said softly. "They never guessed we were building all of this." "That's why we'll win," Ta Hyun replied. "The Meridians are proud. They think they know everything. But humanity's greatest strength is that we never stop learning, never stop creating." Yunwoo turned back to her work. There were still tests to run, still ways to make the shields even better. "The Meridians thought they could bully us because we love peace," she said. "They forgot that peaceful people can also be very, very strong." In the testing chamber, the quantum shield continued to glow, its blue light promising protection for Earth's ships and people. Soon, very soon, the Meridians would learn just how much they had underestimated humanity. Colonel Sunmai stood in the command center of Earth's emergency response station. Around her, dozens of screens showed the status of every human colony near Meridian space. Her team worked quickly, sending messages and coordinating ships. "Status report," she called out, her voice firm but calm. "New Daegu colony is evacuating now," an officer reported. 3 transport ships are already away. 2 more will launch within the hour." Sun Mi nodded, marking the progress on her main screen. Saving their people was the first priority. They wouldn't let the Meridians destroy another colony. Her communication screen lit up. Captain Minsu's face appeared, wearing his Special Forces combat suit. "Colonel, my team is in position," he reported. "We're ready to deploy the quantum shields to all strategic locations." "Good," Sun Mai replied. "Start with the outer colonies first. We need those shields in place before the Meridians make their choice." On another screen, she could see Admiral Hansol's fleet moving into position. The Earth Defense Force ships formed a perfect line in space, hidden behind Earth's moon. They would stay there until they were needed. Lieutenant Jai-yun's voice came through the command center speakers. "Colonel, we're detecting movement from Meridian ships. They're gathering near their border stations." Sun Mi's eyes narrowed. The Meridians still had 4 hours to leave human space peacefully. Their movement suggested they were choosing the hard way. "Captain Minsu," she called, "speed up the shield deployment. I don't think they're planning to leave." "Understood," Minsu answered. His team's ships disappeared into stealth mode, racing to protect Earth's colonies. A new message appeared on Sun Mi's screen. It was from Dr. Yunwu in the Gangnam underground complex. The quantum shields were working even better than expected. They could now protect an entire colony with just one generator. "Send this data to Captain Minsu," Sun Mai ordered. "His team needs to know the exact power settings." The command center worked like a perfect machine. Everyone knew their job. They had practiced this many times, preparing for the day when the Meridians would go too far. "Colonel," an officer called out. "New Daegu reports the last transport is away. All civilians are safe." Sun Mai allowed herself a small smile. That was one colony the Meridians couldn't harm. "Move those transport ships to the safe zones behind Jupiter. No one follows them." Another alert flashed on her screen. The Meridian ships were powering up their weapons. They were still in their own space, but their actions were clear. They were preparing for war. "Send word to Admiral Hansol," Sun Mai ordered. "The Meridians are making their choice." She opened a channel to all Earth forces. "This is Colonel Sun Mai. All units go to alert status. Civilian evacuation is priority 1. Defense fleet preparation is priority 2. Remember your training. We are ready for this." Captain Minsu's team reported success after success. Each colony received its quantum shield generator. Each strategic location was protected. The Meridians wouldn't find any easy targets this time. "Colonel," Jai-yun's voice came through again. "The Meridian Supreme Commander has sent a message. They refuse to leave our space. They say they will teach us our place in the galaxy." Sun Mi stood straighter, her face determined. "Send them our response. You've made your choice. Remember this moment. Remember that we gave you a peaceful option." The command center fell quiet for a moment. Everyone knew what was coming. The Meridians thought they were starting a war they couldn't lose. Instead, they were about to learn why humans were the most dangerous when protecting their own. "All stations," Sun Mi called out. "Execute final preparation protocols. The next few hours will change everything. Let's show them what humanity can really do." The Meridian attack began exactly as Admiral Hansol had predicted. Their warships appeared near Mars, targeting Earth's largest shipyards. The massive Meridian vessels moved with confidence, their weapons already charging. Supreme Commander Val stood on his command ship, watching the approach to Mars. His gray face showed a satisfied smile. The humans had been given their chance to submit, and they had refused. Now they would learn their lesson. "All ships, open fire," Val ordered. "Destroy their shipyards. Show them the price of defiance." The Meridian ships fired their most powerful weapons. Beams of energy streaked across space toward the Mars shipyards. Val waited to see the explosions, the destruction he had ordered so many times before. Nothing happened. The energy beams simply vanished a few meters from their targets. The shipyards remained untouched, protected by a faint blue glow that Val had never seen before. "What is this?" he demanded. "Report." His officers scrambled to understand what they were seeing. Before they could answer, a new voice filled every communication channel in the Meridian fleet. "This is Admiral Hansol of the Earth Defense Force." The voice said calmly, "You were warned. You were given a choice. You chose poorly." Suddenly, the space behind Mars lit up. Hansol's fleet appeared, far larger than any force the Meridians had expected. The Earth ships moved with impossible speed, their new propulsion systems glowing with power. "Impossible," Val whispered. "Their ships can't move that fast." Lieutenant Jai-Yun's voice joined the channel. "Multiple targets locked, Admiral. All Earth ships report quantum shields at full power." "You see, Supreme Commander," Hansol's voice continued, "while you thought we were just tending our farms and studying the stars, we were preparing. Every insult, every attack, every colony you destroyed, we remembered them all." Val's officers reported in panic. They couldn't lock weapons on the human ships. They moved too quickly, and their sensors couldn't track them properly. The Meridian fleet's formation began to break. "All Earth Defense Force ships," Hansol ordered, his voice heard across every channel. "Execute Operation Aegis. Show them what humanity can do." The Earth fleet moved as one. Ships that should have been slow and clumsy danced through space like fighters. When Meridian weapons managed to hit them, the shots disappeared into quantum shields, achieving nothing. In the Gangnam Underground Complex, Dr. Yunwoo and Chief Engineer Ta Hyun watched the battle data flow in. Their inventions were working perfectly. The Meridian's most powerful weapons couldn't harm a single human ship. "Send targeting data to all ships," Jai-Yun called out. "Disable their engines first. Let's show them what precise attacks look like." The Earth fleet's response was surgical and exact. They didn't destroy the Meridian ships. Instead, they disabled them one by one, cutting off their escape routes and power systems. Val watched in horror as his mighty fleet became trapped and powerless. The humans hadn't just developed defenses. They had created weapons that could shut down Meridian technology without destroying it. "This is impossible," he said again, his voice shaking. "You were farmers, researchers, weak." "No," Hansol replied. "We were patient. There's a difference. Now, Supreme Commander, please pay attention. I'm only going to say this once." The Earth fleet surrounded the disabled Meridian ships. The quantum shields glowed brightly, a demonstration of power that couldn't be ignored. "You've gone too far," Hansol said. "This is your final warning. What happens next depends entirely on your next decision. Choose more wisely than you did before." Val stared at his dead controls, at his powerless fleet, at the human ships that had achieved the impossible. For the first time in his long military career, the Supreme Commander of the Meridian Empire felt true fear. Captain Min-Soo led his Special Forces team through the darkened corridors of the Meridian Command Station. Their footsteps were silent, their movements precise. Each soldier wore the latest Earth combat suits, equipped with quantum shield technology. "Team 1 in position," Min-Soo whispered into his communication device, moving to primary target. Back on the Aegis, Lieutenant Jai-Yun coordinated the operation. Her screens showed the positions of all Earth forces. The Meridian fleet remained disabled, floating helplessly in space near Mars. "Confirmed, Captain," Jai-Yun responded. "Admiral Hansol gives permission to proceed. Remember, we want their command systems intact." Min-Soo's team reached the station's main control room. 2 Meridian guards stood at the door, looking worried. They had lost contact with their fleet and didn't know why. Before they could react, Min-Soo's team moved. The guards were unconscious in seconds, without a single shot fired. "Control room secured," Min-Soo reported. "Beginning data extraction." Inside the Earth Defense Force fleet, Admiral Hansol watched the operation unfold. His ships maintained their positions, quantum shields glowing bright blue against the darkness of space. The disabled Meridian vessels hung silent before them. Admiral, Jai-yun called out. Supreme Commander Val is requesting to speak with you. Han Sol nodded. Put him through. Let's hear what he has to say now. Val's face appeared on the main screen. The proud Meridian leader looked shaken. His gray skin had turned pale, and his forehands trembled slightly. What do you want? Val demanded, trying to sound strong. You've made your point. Have we? Han Sol asked calmly. I'm not sure you understand yet. Captain Min-su, report please. Min-su's voice joined the conversation. Sir, we have accessed their command network. We now control 15 of their border stations. No casualties on either side. Their weapons are offline. Val's eyes widened in shock. Impossible. How did you? The same way we developed quantum shields and new propulsion systems. Han Sol interrupted. We worked hard. We planned. We prepared. While you thought we were weak farmers, we were building everything we needed to stop you. In the Gangnam Underground Complex, Dr. Yunwoo and Chief Engineer Ta-hyun monitored the quantum shields protecting Earth's ships and troops. Their technology was working perfectly, making humanity's forces practically invulnerable to Meridian weapons. All ships report shield strength at maximum. Ta-hyun announced over the command channel. The Meridians haven't even scratched our defenses. Lieutenant Jai-yun coordinated the next phase of the operation. Earth ships moved with incredible speed, surrounding more Meridian installations. Captain Min-su's teams deployed across enemy territory, taking control of key positions. You see, Supreme Commander, Han Sol said, we could destroy your fleet right now. We could take your stations, your colonies, your worlds. But we won't. Because unlike you, we don't believe in unnecessary destruction. Val stared at the Admiral, finally understanding the full extent of his mistake. What are your terms? First, you will withdraw completely from human space. Second, you will pay to rebuild the colonies you destroyed. Third, you will sign a new treaty, one that you'll actually respect this time. Han Sol paused, letting his words sink in. And if you ever attack another human colony, if you ever harm our people again, you will learn that what happened today was only a small demonstration of our capabilities. The Supreme Commander looked at his dead controls, at the reports of Earth forces taking control of his installations, at the unstoppable ships protected by their quantum shields. He had no choice. We accept your terms, Val said quietly. Good, Han Sol replied. Captain Min-su, escort the Supreme Commander to the treaty signing. Lieutenant Jai-yun, prepare to restore power to their ships. Let's show them that humans know how to be gracious winners. As the Earth fleet maintained its watch, humanity's message was clear. Never mistake patience for weakness. Never confuse peace with inability to fight. And never, ever underestimate human determination. Supreme Commander Val sat in Earth's grand meeting hall, watching as his empire's power crumbled before him. The treaty document lay on the table, its terms clear and non-negotiable. Around him, Earth's leaders gathered to witness this historic moment. Ambassador Du-hyun stood at the head of the table, his calm presence a stark contrast to Val's nervous energy. The terms are simple, Du-hyun said. You will leave human space entirely. You will pay for rebuilding our destroyed colonies. You will respect our borders. Through the hall's large windows, Val could see Earth's defense fleet in the distance, their quantum shields creating a beautiful blue barrier around the planet. Each ship was a reminder of how badly he had misjudged humanity's capabilities. Lieutenant Jai-yun entered the hall, carrying new reports. Sir, she addressed Admiral Han Sol. Captain Min-su's teams have secured all Meridian border stations. All weapons are disabled, and all data systems are under our control. Han Sol nodded, his expression serious. Thank you, Lieutenant. Please show the Supreme Commander the footage from New Busan. The room's main screen lit up, showing the destroyed colony. Then the image changed, showing Earth's plans for rebuilding it. The new colony would be larger, stronger, protected by quantum shield technology. You see, Du Hyun said to Val, "Even now, we think of building, not destroying. We could have eliminated your fleet. Instead, we chose to show mercy." Val's hands trembled as he reached for the treaty. "We never knew," he said quietly. "We thought you were just farmers and scientists. We didn't understand." "No," Admiral Hansol agreed. "You didn't. You saw our love of peace as weakness. You saw our focus on research and development as proof that we couldn't fight. You were wrong." In the Gangnam Underground complex, Dr. Yun-woo and Chief Engineer Ta-hyun watched the proceedings on their screens. Their inventions had changed the balance of power in the galaxy forever. "Send the final shield data," Yun-woo told her team. "Show them exactly what they were fighting against." New images appeared in the meeting hall. Detailed scans showed how the quantum shields worked, how they could make even the strongest Meridian weapons useless. Val watched in growing horror as he understood the full extent of human technological advancement. "Your most powerful weapons," Ta-hyun's voice came through the speakers, "couldn't even scratch our smallest ships. We could have shown you this months ago, but we hope you would choose peace on your own." Colonel Sunmai entered the hall next, carrying reports from the evacuated colonies. "All our people are safe," she announced. "They can return home as soon as the Meridians withdraw." Val looked around the room, seeing not the weak humans he had imagined, but a species that had surpassed his people while appearing to do nothing at all. "How?" he asked. "How did you hide all of this?" "We didn't hide," Du Hyun explained. "We worked in the open. You saw exactly what we were doing, but your pride wouldn't let you understand. Every farm taught us about surviving in space. Every research station advanced our technology. Every peaceful colony made us stronger." Admiral Hansol stepped forward. "Sign the treaty, Supreme Commander. Return to your space, and remember this day. Remember what happened when you pushed humanity too far." Val signed the document with all four hands, each signature an admission of defeat. As he did, Earth's quantum shields glowed brighter in the sky, a testament to humanity's true power. "The age of Meridian expansion is over," Du Hyun announced. "A new era of peace begins today. We trust you'll make better choices in the future." As Val left the hall, escorted by Captain Minsu's team, he finally understood the greatest truth about humans. Their greatest strength wasn't their weapons or shields, but their ability to build and grow while preparing for the worst, all without losing their humanity. 1 year after the Meridian surrender, Admiral Hansol stood on the observation deck of the New Busan colony. The rebuilt station was larger and more beautiful than before. Its quantum shields created a gentle blue glow around the entire structure, a constant reminder of humanity's achievement. "Admiral," Lieutenant Jae-yun called as she entered the deck. "The last group of settlers has arrived. The colony is now fully populated again." Hansol smiled. Where once there had been destruction, now there was life again. The new colony had everything the old one had: research labs, farming sections, and living spaces. But it also had something new: respect from the rest of the galaxy. "Any word from our borders?" Hansol asked. "Yes, sir. The Meridians continue to honor the treaty. They haven't come within 1,000 kilometers of human space since the surrender." In the colony's main research center, Dr. Yun-woo worked with scientists from other alien species. After seeing how quantum shield technology had stopped the Meridian Empire, many civilizations had asked Earth for help protecting their own worlds. "The shield modifications are working perfectly," she told a group of visiting scientists. "Soon your colonies will be as safe as ours." Chief Engineer Ta-hyun entered the lab, carrying new design plans. "The propulsion system upgrades are ready too," he announced. "We can start installing them on friendly ships next month." Earth had changed in the past year. No longer seen as just farmers and peaceful researchers, humans had become known as protectors. Smaller civilizations came to Earth for help, knowing humans would defend those who couldn't defend themselves. Ambassador Du Hyun's office in the colony was always busy. Today, he met with representatives from 5 different species, all seeking Earth's protection and friendship. "We welcome peaceful cooperation," Du-hyun told them. "Earth believes in sharing knowledge and helping others grow strong. But remember, we also believe in being ready to defend what matters." Captain Min-soo's special forces had a new job now. Instead of preparing for war, they trained other species' defense forces. They taught them how to protect their people without becoming aggressive. "Defense doesn't mean weakness," Min-soo explained to his latest class. "The strongest warriors are those who know how to fight but choose peace first." Colonel Sun Mi's command center now coordinated protection for dozens of worlds. The quantum shields that had saved Earth now guarded many peaceful civilizations. Her screen showed green status lights across human space and allied territories. "Another quiet day," she said to her staff, "just the way we like it." In orbit above Earth, the Defense Force fleet patrolled with quiet confidence. Their ship's quantum shields glowed softly, a reminder to everyone that humans were not to be underestimated. Admiral Hansol walked through the colony's garden section, where flowers from Earth grew next to plants from other worlds. This was what humanity had always wanted: peace, growth, and the strength to protect both. "Admiral," Jae-yun said, joining him in the garden, "we've received a message from the Meridian Empire. They're asking permission to send scientists to study with us. They say they want to learn our way of combining strength with wisdom." Hansol nodded. "Tell them they're welcome to come and learn. Tell them Earth's doors are open to all who truly seek knowledge and peace." As the stars shone through the colony's clear dome, Hansol thought about how far humanity had come. They had faced destruction and emerged stronger. They had been underestimated and proved their worth. Most importantly, they had won without losing their humanity. "The galaxy has changed," he said quietly, "and we helped change it for the better." Above him, Earth's quantum shields continued their eternal watch, protecting not just humanity, but all those who chose to stand with them in their quest for a peaceful, stronger galaxy.